Begin Within Ministries proudly presents Sofa Sundays with your hosts, Michelle Azugwu and Reverend Jeannie Sobrins. Sundays at 11:11 a.m. Arizona time. And rebroadcast on Mondays at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. Come join us on the sofa every Sunday. Sofa Sundays with Michelle and Jeannie. Learn more at www.beginwithinministries.com. In partnership with New Thought Media Network.
Good morning. So good to see everybody this morning. I got the sofa all to myself. Whoever's listening, can you turn it down? I can hear yours. Not me. Are you sure? Where's it coming from? It's not me.
Oh,
Evie? Is somebody on? Sorry, I can hear myself talk, and while I love listening to my voice, it was I don't know. We got whoever I don't hear it now, so might have been me.
It felt like it was coming from back there.
It did. Well, that's okay. Today we're trusting the process anyway, so welcome. So I am here, sans Michelle, who is enjoying her lovely honeymoon in London right now. So it's about 8 hours later. She's probably getting ready because she's coming home tomorrow. So she may or may not join me online, but if she does, I will be sure to say hi to her. So welcome to YouTube. For those who have never been over to YouTube, we're glad you're here. Please remember to like and subscribe. We are coming to you live from the Unleash Your Life Studios at 7220 North 16th Street in Phoenix, Arizona. And in case you missed that we're in person, we just wanted to let you know that you can come to see us every Sunday at 11:11. So this is the home of Reverend Michelle Whittington. She does amazing work here. She has classes and retreats and workshops. So you can find out what she does at unleashyourlife.us and see more about what she has available. So I am just going to get right to it today. I am both the ringer and the prayer. So I guess we'll get that happening. So in this space, this moment, this divine presence that is, I know that I am one with that, as is everyone within the sound of my voice and beyond, that there is only one love, one heartbeat, one breath. This divine unity that we are is all present, all powerful, all of everything. And it only says yes. And so I speak my word into the law, knowing that the highest and best good for this day, for this time together, is happening now. That we are part of this ultimate good, receiving that which is ours to receive. And I bless teachers and leaders of all faiths everywhere, knowing that they also receive their divine good and that they are called to do what it is that they are put here to do, the message of transformation that they bring, knowing that that is blessed this time, this place, this experience here on earth. And for this, I am so very grateful. I say thank you, God. Thank you, life. Thank you, universe, for all of this, for this, yes. So I let it go. I call it good. And together we say, and so it is. All right. Wow, I missed you guys. It's been a whole week. I mean, really, that's a long, long time to be without my tribe. I've had a great week. I went to go see Ancient Aliens this week. That was at the Orpheum.
So jealous.
At the Orpheum. That was so Ancient Aliens live. It was pretty amazing. You know, the guy with the hair was there. So apparently that's how he's known throughout the world. This is the guy with the hair. So it was pretty cool. Giorgio. His last name is harder for me to say. And I didn't know he was from Sweden. And so like anytime yeah, right? So anytime I've heard him, or Switzerland, I'm sorry. It started with an S. Anytime I've heard him, I've never heard the accent. But as soon as I heard that, then when I listened to his voice, I could hear the accent. So it was very, very interesting to me to hear that. Today I have a reading for you guys. And but before I say that, you notice that I'm by myself here. I did ask several people who all said yes eventually, just not today. So I decided that it was a good day to give you me as a minister. You are going to experience what it would be like if you were at some regular church. Well, probably not, but it'll be closer because my conversation will be with you, only you. So versus me and Michelle. And I was like, well, you know, that feels good. That feels right for today. You know, so it's not my normal brand, but eventually someone might invite me to their church. So I figured they have to see that I can actually do this stuff. So thank you for being my guinea pigs today. I appreciate you. And yes, if I go to any other church, I'll be sitting down too, just so you know. I'm not a stand-up minister, so I'm putting that out there, people. Figuratively speaking. Yes, I'm a stand-up comedian, not a stand-up minister. There you go. Good morning. Oh, you look beautiful this morning, my dear.
Hi, everybody. Hi.
So today's adventures in New Thought for Today is page 155. And it's called Trusting the Process. What must I change about myself in order to receive this? Edwin Gaines. Love Edwin. Affirmative prayer, spiritual mind treatment, is often compared to planting seeds in the garden. Metaphorically, I begin by clearing out the old weeds and rocks and other debris that could get in the way of new growth. And this weeds and rocks and debris is also known as fear, doubts, other old beliefs, or past experiences. I consciously choose what I want and plant the seeds in the fresh, clean dirt. I water and fertilize, maintain my daily spiritual practice, tend to the soil, my thinking. If after a few days or even a week, I'm not beginning to see new growth and the manifestation of what I said I wanted, do I go and dig up the seeds and assume, well, this process doesn't work, or that it isn't God's will? Or do I keep feeding and watering and tending, knowing that this process is just that, a process? Even though I can't see it, the truth is there is always something going on. Life is always growing, always creating. Just because I can't see it doesn't mean it isn't happening. Perhaps it is my belief in lack or struggle or difficulty, or a belief that I don't deserve whatever it is that's keeping my good from me. It is never my job to talk to God, Spirit, universe, the infinite, higher power into doing something. I've tried that. I can and must ask, seek, and knock, and keep asking and seeking and knocking, remembering the words of Jesus from the Sermon on the Mount in the book of Matthew. The opportunity for me is not to judge by appearances, but instead trust the process. Today, I allow myself to trust the process of life, knowing that the universe always says yes.
Woohoo.
Reverend Dr. Jerry Troyer, Religious Science, La Mesa, California. We love Reverend Dr. Jerry. He's one of my faves. So there you have it. Trust the process. I am trusting that we understand the process, right? We know that the process, that's what people say to us when they say trust the process. That's when we're saying, well, I didn't get what I wanted. And then people say trust the process, right? Like that's something that it's not just a spiritual thing that you hear, right? That's not just in these type of rooms that you hear that. You hear that at work. You hear that in sports, right? You hear trust the process in a lot of different ways because that is something that we all need to learn is to delay gratification, right? Like I'm not talking about because my process works really good with the parking angels, right? It's like I need a parking space and boom, there it is. I also have been known to lose stuff and go directly into spiritual mind treatment that there is nothing lost in this universe and find it. So I know that there are some more instant time periods that do happen. However, some things take a little bit longer. I'm not a fan of longer. I would love to be that person who says in their mind, I would like to manifest $1 million and poof, it's raining money. That would be awesome. I love that. I love the idea of the magical Santa Claus in the sky that just, grants my wishes. However, my process, and I don't know about you guys, but my process doesn't work like that. The first line that the reading talks about is when Edwin says, what must I change about myself in order to receive this? All right, so now we already know in this trusting the process, there's something we're going to have to do, right? If that's the first part of this reading, we know there's something we're going to have to do. And Reverend Dr. Jerry Troyer says, yeah, we've got to get rid of the weeds. We've got to get rid of the, well, thank you. I didn't know that I was ringing here. Got to get rid of the dirt. We got to get rid of the little things that are happening around there. So I have clean soil. I have a place to put this. But there's so many times when I go to, go deep inside and say, this is what I want, right? Then maybe I haven't cleared that stuff out and I'm still working with those things. So because of that, that's where it becomes a longer process because clearing out that fear, that doubt, that insecurity does become our work, right? And in Science of Mind, our symbol in Science of Mind is the infinite circle, right? With the V dropping down, and there's this line in between going across, and here is what we call BS. That's what's stopping everything from the infinite good coming down, manifesting here is this BS, which is belief system. Just wanted to point that out. Mine out of the gutter. This is church. And sometimes that's hard for us to realize we need to get rid of that, right? We know that setbacks are part of the growth process, and there are time periods where what Jerry says here is we start thinking, well, maybe it's not God's will. My belief system works with the Science of Mind text where it says anything that I desire, as long as it harms no one, is my good. And so if it's my good, then it is God's will, right? Because hold on to your hats, I am God, right? So we are God in form, in individuation. So that whole, when we get scared there and go, oh, well, maybe this isn't what's supposed to happen, you know? And that's where we got to really check in, right? Get into our intuition, into our God center space and say, okay, is this mine? Is this house, relationship, job, parking space? Pick something, right? Is this mine to have? And we generally know, we generally know that. And so when we get stuck on something or we come up to a blockade, we're like, oh, okay. What do I need to have here? What's my opportunity? What's my lesson? What's my advancement here that gives me something that, I can chew on, Remember, just because it's meant for you doesn't mean it's meant for you today. There's no time or space in the universe, right? The universe has got to get all these pieces moving, right? So I think about when and I know I've shared this with you all before about when Dakota and I bought our house. So about a month before we found out we had to move, we were driving around and there were different neighborhoods that, we had been putting it out there. Oh, I'd love to live here and look at this. And isn't that nice? And, we had been doing that daydreaming type of thing, about looking at houses for a while. And then we got I'm sorry, you have 90 days. And all of a sudden, woo, here we are. Now we've got to take care of this. And when we look at that, she gave us 90 days to find something. Something had to happen over here where my home is with the people that owned that to get them out, to get them to want to sell, to get them moving forward to their highest and best good so that we could walk in and say yes for that. So, and I know Michelle has talked about that before too, where she was ready for an adventure, yet the movement of what was supposed to come next wasn't ready yet. So, we have to remember that we are all one, but we're all not ready at the same time, right? So knowing and moving and believing and trusting the process is how we appreciate these maybe delays or blockades, and that helps us build the patience and the resilience to our, resistance and the stuff we come up with. I don't know that trusting in the process means just sitting around, though, right? You can't just sit around. I got to do something. No, True and I were talking before service about how sometimes you wake up early, right? But you live with people. So when you live with people and you wake up at 3:00 in the morning, you can't necessarily get up and clean or, even when you don't live with people, even when you don't live with people, it's like you can't get up and make all this noise and stuff. You got to find something kind of contained. So we talked about we're reading, we're on our phone or something like that, and where was I going with that? That is kind of like one of those things where I know there's only so much I can do, right? And some days I don't know what it is that I can do. So in creating my next best thing and not always knowing what the next best step is, then I've got to find some ways to find that. So that's why you'll see pens and paper all around you, because we're going to do a process so you can find your next best thing. Not yet, but that's what we'll be doing. So I'm talking about embracing the mindset and trusting this process requires a shift in our perspective. Moving away from the obsession of immediate results and recognizing that genuine growth and fulfillment stem from a cumulative effect of constant effort over time. So we talked before about bamboo, right? Bamboo is one of the quickest growing. I mean, like you walk outside, there's like a plant like this. You do that at 8 a.m. At 6 p.m., the plant's like this, right? Like bamboo's the quickest growing. However, prior to this, there are 6 to 7 years that this is building a heavy duty root system underneath. You had no idea what was happening below ground. That's an amazing thing, right? And that is trusting the process. That there is how we grow, right? You see it, you're like, oh, I do my prayer, I do my meditation, I do my service, I'm willing, I'm journaling, I'm doing, and nothing's happening. It's not happening for me. Why isn't it happening for me? Now, that's what you're thinking. People around you have seen the change, have seen the glow, have seen the smile, the experience, that you are now bringing forth, but you don't. You're not really there on that. And then that one day, that person walks into your office that you can't stand. You're like, oh no, not them. And all of a sudden, you have this ability to hear them, to witness them, to, dare I say, love them, right? You have that heart of empathy, of respect. You're working with open-mindedness. All of a sudden, you are no longer that person that feels, oh, not this again. You're that person that's like, hey, here's something new. Hey, I can do this, right? And so now you're shooting up in your bed because you've made that deep root system that helps you grow. You had no idea that I now am able to handle these things. So it's kind of one of those total trust the process, right? Because during that time period, those dark night of the soul comes in, those places where we get stuck because we haven't quite moved through a feeling or an adventure in our past. There's those time periods where we're like, well, this stuff doesn't work. Forget it. And all that time, we've got our roots growing. We're moving forward, and we're just not aware of it because we're the last people to know we're growing, right? We really are. Everybody else around us is like, wow, you're amazing. Oh my goodness, you light up the world, and we're like, yeah. And that's because we're not used to that, right? We're not used to people actually seeing us for the bright light of love that we are. We're used to, hey, how you doing? What's going on? Not making eye contact, not making heart contact. We're used to that. And then all of a sudden, it's this amazing experience and we're there, and we've moved past it. So letting go of that lack or that self-limiting belief system that, keeps us stuck in that is probably the first step, I would say, in helping us trust the process. So, yes, sure. We gotta. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I always look at the process. It's not linear, like a heartbeat. It's up and down, like your beating heart. you know,
There you go.
and you don't want to, actually, you don't want a flat line.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, real true. Thank you, Cindy. You do not want a flat line. True facts.
Well, I've heard it said that a train ride isn't as exciting as a roller coaster, but sometimes the steadiness is good too.
It kind of got me to have an epiphany about that. You were mentioning about purchasing your home. About 6 years ago on Easter Sunday, I was given 30 days to vacate the rental I'd been in for 5 years. And for about a year, I've been thinking about, well, maybe it's time to buy another house, but I just didn't have the down payment I needed to make the mortgage payment low enough for it to be acceptable for me. So I get this notice, and then right before that time, my grandmother passed away, and I inherited a substantial amount of money that I could use for a down payment. But then I had to have detached retina surgery, so I was in no condition to go look for a house. But then the stars aligned, and my sister decided to come visit. So she was able to find me a house, and I was able in 1 month to get the house, get the mortgage, which takes a month, get moved within 33 days.
Wow.
So all of that stuff led to the stars aligning, and I didn't even put it together until now that everything that was supposed to happen happened, even though I've been thinking about this for 4 years. It just happened all at once, and it just said, you're here. So that's pretty awesome.
That's
Yeah,
a,
absolutely.
that's a perfect example of the bamboo,
Right.
right? You had been doing all that stuff for 4 years underground, and then here was this time period that whoosh, there you go. I love that. Thank you. Thank you all for sharing. That's one of the things, like when I believe in lack or that I'm lacking something, I focus on that, what I don't have, right? So focusing on what I don't have versus what I want or what I'd like to have, that kind of sets me up to attract more of what I don't have. And I mean, we've all played this game, right? We've all done it. Like, you know, the wonderful thing about Science of Mind for me is the feeling. The sucky thing about Science of Mind for me is the feeling, right? Because the feeling is what makes this work, right? What am I feeling? You know, I can say all the good words. I can look it up here, right? But where am I going after this? You know, when I go home, what's my feeling then? How am I processing the world then when I'm out at my job? Oh, please, there are some days you're like, that's Reverend Jeannie? Yeah, you know, because I'm still in my bamboo stage some days. You know, there are time periods where the process, I loved what you were saying, Cindy, about it looking more like, you know, the heartbeat thing versus flatline. Yes. Yeah, some days I'm a little higher, you know, we're checking it. You know, it's possible through any of it to be able to stay in your, we like to talk in Reverend Shell world here about stay in your light globe, stay in your, you know, bubble that's, you know, and then in recovery, we would talk about in your hula hoop, right? Like, this is what I can control, people, you know, all in here, you know, anything outside of here, that's not in my control. But thank you, universe, that creates this so that the stars align. There's no Freddie Mercury in the microwave. Then we have, you know, the purchase of our home. Sure.
I forgot one more important issue. The house had been sitting unsold for 6 months, and there was absolutely nothing wrong with it. They refused to come down on the price, and the price was awesome. I thought it was below market. So how I got it, I just figured it had to be part of the stars aligning. Because I was worried that while I was in the process of getting ready to make the offer, somebody would outbid me. It had been sitting there for 6 months.
Wow.
It was sold, so it had very little need for any upgrade or anything.
So it was you that wasn't, it was ready for you. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, funny. Yeah, I love that. Okay, so some of the ways in which belief in lack keeps you from your good. Because remember, what's our card today? The universe always says, yes. All right. So it attracts more lack. It blocks your flow of abundance. It creates negative emotions. It limits your potential and it keeps you stuck. Okay, so that's our ickies, right? So how do we get out of the ickies? Right? How do we, because that's the thing, right? I want to trust the process. And yeah, right? PQ reps. I want to trust the process. I want to move forward. I don't want to lose the home or the job or the whatever, right? But thank you. There's the thing I want to say. What's meant for you never is lost. If it is meant for you, it will come to you. It might not be in the time that you want, but if it's meant for you, it will come to you. So I want to give that as a comfort that, there are a lot of times I thought that's the only opportunity I'll have to do X, Y, Z. And I missed it. I missed that train. I missed that plane, whatever. If it's meant for you, it will come to you. So, so how do we trust this process? Okay, this is time. You got your paper and pen. If you're watching online, please have your paper and pen ready. I am going to give you, let's see if I've been working with my phone all morning here. Let's see if my little thing works. I am going to give you probably about a minute. We'll go with, we'll see, a minute, maybe 2. All right, we'll see. 2 minutes on the clock to come up with as much as possible things you're grateful for. So, ooh, that came a little loud. All right, as much as possible, things you're grateful for. Okay. Time. How'd you do? I can't believe I didn't get a whole page. I tried. And I put each of you down individually, so I thought that would, get me along there.
That would fit me.
Right? So how many had themselves on there?
Aspects of myself.
Oh, okay. Your name. Okay. Yeah. So you had aspects about yourself. Good.
My compassion.
Good.
My confidence.
Did you have any surprises that came to you that you said, oh, I'm not going to put that down, but you put it down anyway? Your health. Yeah, mine was my mobility. Yes. Yes. A seek when it kicked on. So a little hot. What about you, Drew? What'd you have?
Being able to go to school. I mean, I don't like going to school, but I'm able to, which is actually a really big thing. Because
Right.
some people aren't able to. It's like,
Yes. Same. This is what happens when you raise kids right, right? He says something so smart like that. I'm so grateful for True being able to do this whole thing on here. I told him, I said, you know, with your mom going, she usually does the starting part of this. I had no, I did it like 3 different times. So, all right. So that is, there we go. Whoops, lost my watch. I'm grateful for my stepwatch. That is like one of the first things for trusting the process to get us out of that stuck space, right? Because when we concentrate on the things we have, then we're moving from that lack. We're moving away from the lack and we're moving into what we have. And that gratitude helps fill us up for things. Okay. The next one. Now, this one I'm only giving you 46 seconds on because that's what's left of the thing. I gave you too much time the last time. Yeah, I know, right? So for this one, you just come up with 1 or 2 affirmations. As an example, I'm abundant. I have everything I need. I'm open to receiving my good. So come up with 1 or 2 affirmations for this week for you and your yes. Okay.
Again.
You didn't get any?
No.
All right. Well, maybe if you hear other people's, you'll feel like something will come to you. All right. Get your microphone ready. What do we have?
My book is a bestseller on Amazon.
Woo, woo!
My crush will be reciprocated.
Ooh, yes, love it.
I am happy, healthy, and whole.
Oh, yes. Yes, you are.
I choose to live in abundance, physically, emotionally, spiritually, financially.
Yes, yes. We're going to say the yeses for the universe, okay? Out loud for everybody.
Abundance and joy are my birthright.
Yes.
I am enough and I'm open to my good.
Yes.
Okay, I came up with 3. I am healthy, wealthy, and wise.
Yes.
I trust the process.
Yes.
And I'm open to receiving all of my good.
Ooh, yes, yes, yes. All right. Did you come up with some? Get the mic. He's like, I'm just supposed to be working. Don't make me participate. He was excited about the lesson today, right? When I told him there'd be writing involved.
I didn't write this down, but I am happy, non-negative, and considerate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I love it. So mine are, my good comes to me easily and effortlessly.
Yes.
And life is always conspiring for my good.
Yes.
Yes. All right. Love it. Love it. Okay. So the next one. So we did our gratitude, right? This is how we're trusting the process. So the first one was gratitude. We're going to get in gratitude when we're in the stuck situation where we feel like maybe it's not God's will. or we want to go dig up our seeds because the flowers aren't growing quick enough. So we're going to go to gratitude. The next one was we're going to have our affirmation. So what an affirmation is generally something that you want to put in your mind that you go to, like that when you're hit with the negativity that your brain tells you, right? Your brain has a opportunity. You're just walking along and it says, hey, do you know blah, 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 blah. And you're like, oh, thank you for sharing. No, no, right? So that's when we throw in our affirmations. And my bathroom is my, seriously, it's my womb space. It is like, I don't share it. It's mine alone. It's where my comfort comes. It's like a big hug. And my mirror is huge, right? And I write on my mirror all my little affirmations up at the top. And my niece does this little cricket thing and makes stickers. And she made me one that says manifest that shit. Right. So I got that on my mirror. And that's, you know, when I look at myself in there, I'm like, okay, this is who I am. This is what I can do. So yes, dry erase markers are amazing for that. Also, it's not tile my tub thing, you know, it's that pretend look tile. So you can write on that too. And there's Global Truth Center in Palm Desert. They have a saying of love only, forgive everything, and remember who you are. And so I have that written in my,
Say that again.
love only, forgive everything, and remember who you are. And I have that written on my shower thing. And I don't take showers, I take baths. So it's like stays there. And that is the place, you know, in my home that I feel enveloped by, and I have a little shelf there that has my, you know, books on it and stuff. Yeah. Like I spend hours in that bathroom. I love it. So that's how I bring myself, you know, to that place of, okay, how do I get it unstuck? How do I get this moving? So I'll throw that one in there too. How do you get it moving? Get yourself moving. If at all possible, move your body.
Treat and move your feet.
Treat and move your feet. Exactly. Because that, you know, energy sometimes gets stuck. I was just listening to Michelle's AFP meditations, Art of Feminine Presence meditations. And she probably has them on her website, the unleashyourlife.us. And so one of them is about body receptivity. You know, like sometimes we're in a non-receiving mode, and to pay attention to our body and how that feels, like when we get stuck. Like, is it in my neck, my shoulders? Is it in my feet? You know, is it in my lower back? You know, where? So if you're ever feeling like, okay, I'm stuck, creativity, you're stuck, you know, I can't come up with an answer to this, you know, whatever, just get up and start moving your body. Do something. Get that out. Shake it out. Somatic, it's like a thing, right? It's trending now. Somatic exercise and breath will create that space inside, that expansion, so that you are able to move that out of your body and feel, you know, into that grounding that is you. So I just wanted to give you that one. And that wasn't even on my list. That was, you know, like an extra gift. Okay. So, visualize. So I got another, this one's going to be a short one too, because we're going to do a longer thing in a minute. So I just want to give you some of these steps on what it's like. So with visualizing, I'm not going to play any music, but I'm going to speak to you about it. So I'd like you to get comfortable. I'm going to get comfortable. I only had half a butt on this part, so now I got to get the cushion right. All right, we're going to close our eyes if that's available to you. And we're going to take some deep breaths, okay? So I want it in through the nose and push it out with noise from the mouth, okay? At home, I don't hear you. All right, one more. All right, get some of that energy moving. And now I want you to pick one thing that you desire, whether it's today's experience at the movies or the home of your dreams or the relationship of your dreams or how your boss is going to treat you on Monday morning, whatever it is. I want you to go there and I want you to visualize this experience. I want you to see the colors that's there. What does it look like there? Right? How do you want to feel in that moment? This moment where the crush says, yes, I want to go on the date. Where the movie noise makes sense. We know that growl, what it meant. Where the perfect item comes to my beautiful home. That feeling of yes, the universe is saying yes to me. And that feels and fills me with effervescent joy bubbles. This experience of receiving open expansion of my good that comes to me easily and effortlessly. I see it before me now. I claim it. Claim it. I want to hear yes. Claim it. All right. Yes, that is mine. That is mine, and so it is.
And so it is.
All right. Good job. So that's one of those things too. When you have a moment that feels, you're like, okay, no, I'm going to change that moment, right? Because remember, your brain doesn't know the difference between what's actually happening and what you're thinking, right? So let's make the good happen. Let's make that happen for it. All right. It's the time you've been waiting for. We're going to do some visioning. We did some visualization. Now we're going to do some visioning. And you're like, well, what's the difference? They sound about the same. Here's the difference. With visualization, I have control. I say what it looks like, what it feels like, what it tastes like, how it comes across. I put in that I'm going to make the basket, right? Or I'm going to make I don't know what else I ever do, right? I'm going to have the best-selling book. I visualize that and make that happen. In visioning, this is where I open up to the divine. So the thing, like, oh, thank you. It was time. You're absolutely right. The thing that I want you to think of is the first question is going to be, what is Spirit's highest vision for? So here's the only place I'm allowing you to have some control. Okay. You're going to say, what's the Spirit's highest vision for today, this year, for me, for my relationship? So you're going to pick an area. Okay. So you have some control there. That's the only thing you get to control. Okay. We're all in agreement. All right. So let's get back to our comfortable space, and I'm going to put some meditative music on while we go through these questions. All right. So So we're asking, what is Spirit's highest vision for me, for my life, for my ministry, for my job, my family? I'm gonna breathe into that. And just as it comes to you, write it down. I don't want you to feel like you're going to lose it. So you don't have to keep your eyes closed. You can write it down as it comes to you. Be open, be receptive. If a color comes to you, write that down. If there's something that comes that doesn't make any sense, write it down. It's not yours to know at this moment. Just be receptive. Hey, now ask yourself your highest version of you, the universe, God, whatever you choose to call this divine intelligence. Ask, what is my role in this situation? What's my part? How do I fit into it? Was there an action that you're led to? Or maybe an inaction if you've been striving too much? What's your role as this unfolds? Here's a big one. What must I release for this highest good to come about? Is there something that I'm holding on to? Is there a belief system that needs to change or shift? Is there clutter in my mind or space? Is there someone else's expectation or my own that I need to surrender? And in releasing, as nature abhors a vacuum, what spiritual quality shall I embrace for my highest outcome, for the highest and best in this situation, in this good that I'm open to receive? What quality of the divine do I embrace here? And lastly, what else would Spirit like to share with me about this? Is there something else? So in knowing that even though this time period here is closing, I know that this work is not done. This work goes forth from here in each and every person who hears it now and in the future, knowing that we can stop at any moment and bring ourselves back and tune in and accept this field of infinite possibilities is already ours. I say thank you, universe. Thank you for always saying yes. I let my word go into the field of infinite possibilities and I call it good. Together we say,
And so it
so it
is.
is. You did good. You did good. I promise you. Trusting the process is a testament to your faith, your abilities, your interconnectedness with life. This is how we move through and get those things going, get those creative juices happening. So I appreciate your time today. I appreciate you joining us. I appreciate all those in the room. And Michelle will be back next week. And thank you for being my guinea pigs today. I appreciate you. Oh, yes. How you can support us. Well, you can go to beginwithinministries.com. We have an opportunity there for donations. You can join and become a spiritual church club partner. Got it right. And as an individual, that is $45 a month. As a couple, it's $75 a month. Or you can just make a one-time donation. You can also like and subscribe here on YouTube. We so appreciate it. You can also join us in our Facebook group. That's where we put our information. And you also can go on New Thought Media Network, where you will see this replayed on Monday night. I thank you all for your time and your energy today, and we love you. Bye.
Thanks for watching. Tune in again next week at 11:11 a.m. Pacific Time, or Monday evening at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. In partnership with New Thought Media Network.